Alright, so if you remember back to my second video where I was curing pork belly, this is today, 10 days later. So the cure was finished in 10 days, and I put it on the smoker with hickory wood. That's what I use. You can feel free to use what you like. But this was about 5 hours of heavy smoke, and it turned out just like always, fantastic. Smells delicious already. So I had 4 quarters. I've already cut and I've sliced 3 of the quarters, and I do use my John Boost block. It's a big one. It comes in really handy. I would highly recommend getting a John Boost block. These things last forever if you take care of them. So this is it, the last quarter. So we're going to slice this up real quick, and I will put it in a freezer bag. I want to get the bacon sliced and frozen before I would actually put it in a seal-a-mill type food saver vacuum sealed bag. For the reason that when you if I was to cut this now and put it in a seal-a-mill, as it pulled the vacuum, it could pull out some of the juices, and I do not want to do that. So there's too much great flavor in here. So let me go ahead and slice this up, and I'll give you a whirl. I'll show you what the end results is. Alright, so I just made 1 slice. So I hope you can see it good enough in this video. The salt, the curing salt did do its job. The bacon meat is nice and pink, so that's what you're looking for. As I sliced the other 3 quarters, I didn't see any type of cold spot. All of the meat should have a nice pink hue to it. I'll tell you what, this is my favorite part. I love to slice freshly cured and smoked bacon. We're about a third of the way in. Everything is still pink. This particular customer likes really thick cut bacon. This is a 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit more. I don't recommend going much more than that. But feel free, it's your bacon. But this is looking really nice. Everything's going along great. But if you can see, when you quarter these, I mean, no pork belly is perfectly rectangular. So you're going to have, your quarters are not going to be square and true. So here we are on this one. So now it's time for me to start making adjustments to my cut. So in the end, I want a straight cut. So we're going to have to start cutting it similar to this, a little bit thin on one side and thick on the other, and we'll just try to spread that out till we get to the end where we've got a nice even cut. Okay, we're close to 2/3 in. Everything looks great. I say I love doing this part. It smells fantastic. So keep in mind, this is a pork belly. It's bacon. There's a lot of fat on it. So when you get to this point here, you've got that last bit of meat on the bottom here. This layer of fat here is very tender. So as you're cutting through, make sure that you cut through that bottom piece, which is a little bit more firm because of the smoking process, right? So I would say it's partially cooked, but not much. But it is firmer, so if you don't have it cut all the way through and you pull, you will rip the bacon in a little piece here. This will slide right off. That's very, very tender fat. So make sure that you are cutting all the way through. And it's looking good. We've made our adjustment here. You can see the thickness here, but we look like we're pretty squared up right now. We got a little bit more gradual angle cuts to do, but then we'll be there. It looks great. Okay, so you've got to see this. As we get near the end, This fat now, it's warming up just because I'm holding it. I did put it in the freezer after I smoked it for several hours to get the bacon firm, because that really helps when you're trying to slice. I forgot to mention that in the beginning, but put it in the refrigerator for a while or the freezer to speed it up. But it will help keep this fat firm so you can slice it. But as we get near the end, it is loosening up now just from the heat of my hand touching it. So you've got to pinch the end of this. And we're going to make probably one more slice after this. And we're going to lay it sideways, and I'll show you that, how you're going to cut through there. Okay, here we are. We're at the end. So it's a little bit thick. So we're going to leave it laid down, and very carefully, I'm going to press down on the top as I slice through. I'm going to try to get this thing in the middle, but luckily he does want thick cut, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. If I was doing a thinner cut bacon, it's more of an issue, right? Because I'm going to try to get, 3 more slices out of here instead of 2. And we'll show you that here in a sec. All right, we're slicing through. It looks like it's going through pretty good. It's a little bit thin on this side, but I'll tell you what, this end piece right here is going to be the tastiest part of this whole quarter. That has an incredible amount of smoke, and I'll tell you what, it smells delicious. All right, there it is. 1/4 sliced up. That's a great breakfast. I'll tell you what, this bacon here, follow the directions and the ingredients for the brine in my second video, making bacon. This bacon is fantastic on hamburgers. Make life easy. Look how big this board is here, if you can really see it. Get yourself a booze block. You will not regret it. They're great. So here it is. And I'll tell you what, the best thing, when you freeze this and vacuum seal it, and you open it up on Sunday morning to make breakfast, and that aroma from the smoke hits you, I'll tell you what, there's nothing better. If you're into bacon and smoked meat, it's great.